Hi, I'm Ghost, I like planes, and I also love First World War and Second World War history, and welcome to dragging my dad around France and Belgium for a week just to get some photos of the White Cliffs of Dover. To clarify, that is a joke. Yeah, we are first of all going to Dover, and there's going to be sporadic commentary probably in this. Not much, but we're going to Dover Castle, and I couldn't actually film much there because we went to see the tunnels and you're not allowed to film in there. What are they hiding? I'm not going to start a conspiracy theory, but I reckon they're hiding something down. I'd also like to talk about the fact that I went in this little bit here, and then by the time that I went back up those stairs, it was so foggy, I was stood in a cloud. I don't like standing in clouds, it turns out. It's not very pleasant. It feels like... It just feels weird. I don't know. But hey, we had hopes that the weather would be better the next day so I could get close to the cliffs, but it wasn't, so we just had to go to... No, I can't keep this joke up, can I? It's the joke. I went around places for a week just to get some photos. But hey, I highly recommend going and seeing Dover Castle. Unfortunately, due to traffic, we only got to see the Second World War stuff because that's what we were actually interested in. But if you go, absolutely go. Oh, and there were seagulls fighting in the street. So, before I go to really sporadic commentary, I'd just like to say a massive shout out to P&O Ferries, who somehow on both journeys managed to get us on earlier sailings. That was, I'm not going to say it was the highlight of the trip, but it was a very good part of the trip. But we also couldn't see anything when we were going out of Dover, which was really weird. And then we could see stuff when we got the other side. And there was Evergreen, and here's Calais. Time for the snack zone. Okay, would you like to tell the YouTube what your opinion is of the lemon Karen bar?
Lemony.
Okay. They're as good as I remember. Snack zone 1 complete. That ended up being the only snack zone. But hey, we basically then got to Bastogne. Tea, because we're British, well I don't drink tea, and there's flags. That is a bad spoon. Gold work. So many ways that could go wrong. I want to just film the bird. The bird! Hey little guy. Look how cute it is. No, no, no! No, not behind the tree, no! This is take 3 of me trying to do the bit where I talk about the fact that I'm 18. Some of the people who were in these places were more or less my age. Like, I turned 19 in November. And it was very powerful and emotional being in these places and trying to think, you know, could I have done this? Especially now visiting the Somme a good almost, it's like 7 years on from when I first went there, but we'll come back to that later, I think. Oh, would just like to share, if I turn this, you can look on here. It's so cool.
Water and pizza.
Like jet lag the game.
Follow the end. Or something because the original kind of design.
I don't actually have any specific commentary about tanks, but I wanted to go back to the bit about the area being really powerful to come to. You know, I've only ever seen this in Band of Brothers. At the start of a previous academic year, I did a massive hand-embroidered flag. That came on the trip. I think you can see the photo of that on my Instagram now. We took it there. One of the things I said on the project was, you know, this project doesn't feel complete because I don't have all of the context. I haven't seen the place. You know, if I do a project related to Bomber Command, pre me doing the Just Jane taxi ride, I've seen Lancasters, I've seen one flying multiple times in the last few years. Obviously it doesn't compare to like people who are actually there and their experiences, and that's where I use memoirs to try and understand it. But there is something about physically seeing the places and getting scale that is very important, and I highly recommend going on trips like this. Not only are they utterly fascinating, you learn some incredible stories, but they're really interesting places to go. And now we get to the bit where we're going to the Somme. I went here back in 2018 on a school trip, and I won't lie, it is probably the fondest memory I have of my time at school. Oh, we saw a Belgian A400 flying, which was cool. But yeah, I had said to my dad when we were planning this trip, I want to go back to these specific bits in the Somme because I want to see, do they look like I remember. Also, Charleroi from Jet Lag the Game. I made so many jet lag references on this trip and I didn't film half of them. But yeah, we stayed in the, I think it was the Ibis outside of out there. Highly recommend. There is a bakery near the Audi that, oh my god, the chocolate fondants they do are so good. Oh, and we saw Cambrai, the first proper use of tanks in the First World War, and Airbus. And that's all I have for my commentary right now, because it's now going to get to me. Oh, also they had a very nice carpet. It's about to get to me thinking about, you know, when I first came here, but not this. But this was the museum. The museum was very good. This is the 1916 museum in Albert. It's all underground. It's very cold. Highly recommend in the middle of summer. But yeah, when we get to like Lochnagar Crater, Tietville and Beaumont Hamel, those are all places I saw when I was in year 6. I have much more understanding now. I also read John Nichols' The Unknown Warrior, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend that book. And I wanted to go back and see it, so I fully remembered it and I could capture it through my camera, because I accidentally stopped the recording, but to capture it through my camera, because that's one of the ways that I start to create my art. Also, I love trench art. I love looking at shells that have art carved in. I think it's beautiful, and I found embroidery and here's Iron Harvest stuff. But yeah, we're about to get to Lochnagar Crater after we go to Audi. We went to Audi, I forgot about that. Now we're getting to Lochnagar Crater, so please do enjoy me reliving my childhood with a little bit of nostalgia. I'd like to add that by total coincidence, we were here on July 2nd, so literally the day after the anniversary for the start of the Somme, which that was not by any means planned. I just planned a trip, we worked out an order, and we booked dates. But here's Loch na Gael Crater. It's absolutely massive. It was bigger than I remembered. For some reason, I always had in my head that it was smaller. So there we go. Get off the road!
Thank you.
Oh, there it is. Teatful. More Teatful. And there's Teatful.
Yeah, that's all right.
Right. Even now, I can't actually see out the top of the trench properly. It's her in a minute.
And then we'll catch up if you're brave enough.
And so the final stop of the Somme trip is to the final stop of my friend's trip years ago. Teatful with a thunderstorm, which is a whole vibe, I'll be honest. The tarmac is steaming.
Towards A1A.
There's just steam on the roads. Oh, come on, it disappears behind the hedge. Oh, and then we went to Dunkirk and we visited, I just need my desk. We visited the Operation Dynamo Museum, and this is also the part where I should absolutely go, hi, I'm Ghost. I like planes and I like embroidery, because I found so much hand embroidery in these museums. It was fantastic. I loved doing that. Again, another fantastic museum. We saw so many. We mostly went here because, one, it was en route back towards Calais, and two, I absolutely love the film Dunkirk. I am talking about the recent remake. I wrote like 7,000 words on it in year 10 or year 11, whatever year it was, about the film and researching historical context. And look, we saw the beach and it was a beautiful, lovely day. And I have to say, dry heat in France is so much nicer at 35 degrees than 28 degrees here is in the UK, because it was muggy. And we went to Fort de Dunes, and I loved the headsets because they had them in loads of different like translations, and then you could walk in the places and it'd start playing for you at times, and that was kind of weird, I have to admit. And I did like that compared to like sites in the UK, you could walk in and through lots of areas. Like I went through this tunnel. There was also a blockhouse bunker that we could have gone into, and I went, you know what? No, that looks creepy and dark, and I don't really want to go in there. It's this one here that I'm filming now. There we go. Do I want to go in here? Maybe not. That looks a bit creepy, I'll be honest. Because it has the tail fin and it's like... And the final day plus the bit that these bits were on the same day as Dunkirk, as we headed back towards Calais, was basically to do a whole Atlantic Wall kind of stint and to go see as many blockhouse bunkers and stuff as we could. And I also got to see some really cool graffiti. My ankles though don't like sand dunes, it turns out, even wearing really thick boots. And we finally saw the White Cliffs of Dover from France, which you can't really see very well in the footage, but they're there. That is a good view of the cliffs today. Didn't get that when we were coming over. Big giant concrete thing that says museum. Now, if you're ever looking for something to do in and around Calais, I think we're about 40 minutes outside of Calais. Battery Todd or Battery de Todd, something like that. So good. They have built the museum into the bunker, so you effectively walk around the entire thing. Once again, very cool in the summer. That was lovely, and they have a brilliant gift shop. I got so many new coins, which you'll see all of the stuff I brought like later in the video. But again, this was me going and getting to see loads of cool stuff to take photos for a completely unplanned project about the Atlantic Wall. It's gonna be cool when I do it. Saw a thing I might try and recreate. Saw a map. Saw more uniforms and looked for hand embroidery. What a surprise. And an engine. And a tunnel.
That doesn't look
I think you put shells through and took them to the big gun. They don't have the big gun there anymore. That got taken for scrap years and years ago. But they have the big concrete bit. So to fill the kind of last hour and a half before we had to get to the port in Calais to get on a ferry, we went and looked at loads and loads of bunkers and took photos of bunkers because there's just loads of them. This is the thing, you can probably walk down most of the coastline and find just concrete things. I saw one, I think, when we were on the ferry. We also saw bomb holes in the cliffs again. I believe it was the September of 1944 that they bombed this area. I'm not totally sure. And we saw a drone and a cool car that my dad said was a staple of a trip to France. And we saw another concrete thing. There are lots and lots of concrete things. That's what I got from this trip. And here we are arriving at the port of Calais, in which I decided I'm going to watch Rogue Heroes on the trip back like I did on the trip out, because why not? Someone almost dropped their phone over, it was hilarious. So there we go, I dragged my dad all the way around France and Belgium just to get these final photos here of the White Cliffs of Dover, and that is a joke, but it was my joke for the whole trip. I hope you have enjoyed seeing all the places I visited, and theoretically I'm going to link them all down below. Once again, massive thank you to my dad for doing this. Oh my god, this was an insane trip. I got to go revisit so many places that I got to visit some places I've seen before, and I got to visit some places that I've only ever seen like on TV, and that was really special. Go follow my Instagram for photos. Bye.